G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed my last video, the part 3 of the 90-degree angle drive for the mill, link up there now and go what's that first. Then come back and watch this one. Now, with all the stuff I've been buying and making just of late, it's created a little bit of a dilemma for me. So I'll show you what it is. We'll head over to the lathe over there and I'll show you just what the problem is and what I've got in mind to fix it. Alrighty, so when I built the trolley for this little lathe, I built a drawer into it so I can store the few tools and stuff I had in it. But this is what it looks like now. Absolute schmozzle. Have a go at it. It's just, these are two recent things I did because these used to just lie around in the bottom of the drawer everywhere, but have a go at that in there. Complete mess. So I need to do something about sorting that out. Hiding down in there somewhere is a little bag of ER20 collets that I accidentally bought once before because I didn't read what the ad said well enough. So let's head over to the bench now and I'll show you. I've already got the ball rolling and I'll show you what I've done so far. Alrighty, so yesterday afternoon I sat down and drew up a little tray that I can fit to the door of my cupboard over there. I'll show you in a second when we're done here. That I can store these ER20 collets in, like that. Now originally I only had 3, but I've jumped in and I bought a few more, so they'll all just fit in here like this. Now I've got at the moment, actually I've made a bit of a cock up here somewhere. I think those back holes are not as big as the front ones. I'll have to do something about that. And that's obviously different brand, is it? Won't fit in there. But we'll sort that out. And then I put some mounting holes in it, 2 at each end, one in the middle there. These are not particularly heavy, so they'll go okay on the wall. And the other issue is all those new tool holders I made for the lathe, the quick change tool holders. Originally I had 4 or 5, now I've got about 12 or something, and it's just too many, and they're all floating around the bottom of the drawer. I'm always pulling stuff out, raking through the drawer looking for it. So I need to print up some little brackets, which I'll also mount over on the door, and I want to do something about some racking inside the drawer that I can pop in the tool holders I have with the the Morse taper 2 ends on them. Just drop them in a hole so they just sit neatly in the drawer. So let's head back over to the cupboard door and I'll show you what I want to do over there. Alrighty, so those of you who've been around for a while would have seen me when I extended all the benches down the end here after I built the mill. I built this cupboard here, this two double height cupboard, and it's full. The cupboard I built over on the other bench, it's full. I've got 3 shelves to put on the wall over the back. I'll show you that in a second too, to store shit on, because my benches are just covered in crap because I've got nowhere to put anything. But anyway, the plan is to just screw that up on there, so that can move up there, and then I'll make up some plastic holders for tools that'll just screw on here as well. So, and the lathe, where I work on the lathe, just off back over here a little bit, within arm's reach of that door. So it'll work out okay, and we'll sort out what goes in the drawer. Now just hang on, I'll spin this camera around. Alrighty, so I've got this wall over here that we created on top of the fence when we built the workshop and closed it. Now that copy of a Black & Decker workbench there can be moved another metre over to the left, and then I've got some shelving I want to put up there to sit stuff on, so that'll help to create some more space as well. Because like I said, this place is just like, the bench is just covered in stuff. Makes it hard to work because you can't find anything half the time. But alright, we'll get on with all of that. Alright, it's just starting to rain here. I hope it doesn't get too loud on the roof. Well, that all went pretty well. These things, I didn't want to print 2 because I wanted to make sure these fit on there nicely first, and they do. So I've got another one just started over there to print a second one. So I'll get that screwed up on the door, and when the other one's finished in 2.5 hours time, we'll put another one up on the door, and we'll get that other little thing screwed up on there as well. Alrighty, so let's get this damn show on the road. First screw in here. Don't go getting too rough here. Let's get the level out and level that up. Put some more screws in it. Cracked it. Oh, the dud, that one. Had to scrounge around through the box to find some screws that would do the job. But I can't find another one. Oh. Plenty strong enough. I'm finding a couple that put this tool holder one up was a bit of a struggle, or either too bloody long or too short. Eventually I came up with a couple I think will do the job. Wait. That says it's level, but it looks cockeyed to me. That looks dead set cockeyed. Alright, feels pretty solid as well. Some of the tools that I don't use I need too much. All my new ones. And then when the other one's finished printing, I'll put it over here, and I'll get the longer stuff out that's lying in the drawer with the boring bars and things, and put it over on this side. Alrighty, quick update before I fit this up. I was a little worried that these are not real tight fit on there, and if the door was to swing open and come to a sudden stop, they could fly off, you know. So what I did was, I was lying there last night thinking about how can I stop that. I was thinking about trying to put some sort of a tab here or whatever just to help clip them on, and I thought, well, why don't I just make the thing lean backwards a bit. So I printed these up, glued one on the bottom of there, so I'll screw that on. I've been through all my holders and I've actually got 15 or 16 of the bloody things, so 2 isn't enough. So I hadn't modified this at all because I just hadn't figured out how to get these downloadable prints back into FreeCAD and modify them. So I've just spent the last hour and a half watching a tutorial and playing around, and I've managed to modify one of these so that it will be thick at one end like that, and it's over there printing at the moment. So that'll be my third one, but I'll get this one fitted up on the door, get the other one off, glue this on the back of it, fit it up, and that way hopefully they'll have a slight slope to the back when they're on the door, and they won't want to fall off quite as easily. Alrighty, so I've tidied the drawer up and pulled everything out of it. So next cab off the rank is doing something with this lot. Now I could either sit down and print something up with the plastic like I have been, but it just takes so long. That other thing over there is still going. It's still got another 2 hours to go yet. So I've got some of this left, a bit of this timber. Could do with being just a little bit wider, because the cap on that is wider than that bit of board. But I suppose there's no reason why I can't just drill a hole a bit off centre. So that might be the easiest way to that. I'll get the drop saw out and just chop a bit off this, because it's way too long. Chop a bit off, and then I can just put a bit of glue on it, screw it into the drawer, and put a series of holes in there. Alrighty, so that tidies that up. I've only got 5 holes in there. If I really tried, I probably could have got 6. I still have one tool up in the tailstock, and I've got this. Unfortunately, this won't fit down there. I mean, if I cut a bigger hole in the bottom for this part of it, I could get it in far enough, I think, but maybe not. So I've decided what I'll do is, I could pull it apart, and drop it in there. But I think I'll just draw something up in FreeCAD and print a little tray that just, this part of it just sits in, maybe a little bit either side of it, and just sit it down there in the bottom. because if in the bottom like that, it'll just roll backwards and forwards all the time. So I'll just print up a little tray they can sit in, and that'll get that done. Before I move on, I had some issues with printing up. This is the third for the quick change tool holders. When I first put it in the slicer, when I went to export, it came up and said that there, it wasn't sitting flat on the bottom, and I just couldn't make it sit flat. And then when I was watching it print, and it printed in like 3 little squares like that, and or 4 actually, and I could see that this one could go amiss, and by the time it had finished, it had curled up on the end here. Not that it really matters, I don't think, but I'll screw it up on the door, and then I might hit this end here with the hot gun. Got one of those Black & Decker guns for stripping paint. Hit it with that and just soften the plastic, try and bend it back in place. But like I said, I don't think it really matters. You see that's got the tapered bottom on it. But anyway, I'll get that fitted up to the door, and then about all I've got left is print the thing up, sit this in, get those shelves on the wall. Alrighty, so that printed up pretty well. It only took about just under 40 minutes to print that. Sits in there quite nicely, like that. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should have put a hole in the middle so I could put a screw through it, just screw it to the bottom of the drawer, but I think I'll just put a little bit of double-sided tape on it and just stick it to the bottom of the drawer so it can't move around. Now I've got one other thing that I need to stop sliding around the bottom of that drawer, and that is this knurling tool. Now it is on a quick change holder, and there's no way it'll fit onto those things I printed up before because of all the way it hangs out over the back here. So I'm just wondering what I can do with that. I might draw up something and print up something that I can either mount to the bottom of the drawer or through the side, so that I can just drop it onto it over in the one side in the box, just to stop it from flopping around everywhere. Might do that actually, just print something up. And either, like I said, screw it to the bottom or screw it to the side. But anyway, we're nearly done. Alrighty, so that turned out perfectly. It's actually a better fit on the tool holders than the downloaded thing. Fits perfectly. I put 2 countersunk holes in it so I can screw it on from the inside of the drawer. And I'll just go and fix that onto the side of the drawer, going this way rather, and put some double-sided tape on that other thing, stick it to the bottom, and I think that's all of the tooling side of it finished now, because I've got that other tool holder on the wall, as you can see, and then all I have to do put the shelves up and we'll be done. Alrighty, I'd have to say all up, that's a pretty awesome bloody result, that. That's worked out just perfect. Just drop that on there. It sits there nicely. This is glued to the bottom. These just sit on top of each other here, and everything's honky dory. Actually, I've got this bit of aluminium angle here. Might look at cutting a piece out of that and just screwing a little bit of it just here to stop these from falling over. But it might make it hard to pick up this bottom one. That's the only reason for not doing something like that. But if it creates it, if it is a bit of a problem, then we can always do something about it later. So that's a wonderful bloody outcome. That is far, far better than what we had before. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Oh, look, and also printed up these collet holders. So tidy them up. They usually lie all over the bench and fall on the floor and roll everywhere, so let's tidy them up as well. Well, that's the last thing done. I hope I haven't bored you too much with this video, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's just been doing things I've been meaning to do for ages and filling in time while I wait for that belt to arrive so I can thread the back end of my 90-degree gearbox for the mill. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, I'd really like it if you at least gave that thumbs up a bit of a tickle, even if you didn't smash it. So thanks for watching. If you watched all of this, and I do understand it could have been a tad on the boring side, not my usual fare, but I'm kind of hoping some of those tool holders and things like that provide a bit of inspiration for others, and hopefully the next video see, well, this one will be after the 90-degree because like I said, it's just a fill-in while I wait for the belt. But I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.